think it's fair to say that when Do It for Twiggy won the Kent Derby and the East Anglian Derby, it really put Yarmouth trainer Erica Samuels on the map. Now 5 years on, her and her family still train around 60 greyhounds from this barn here in Ormsby, about 10 minutes down the road from Yarmouth Stadium. Of course, it's mostly graders, but there is still hope that they might just have another good one. Erica, tell me a bit about how it works here at your kennel. It's very much a family affair.
Yes, it is. It's all the family, my husband, my son and my 2 granddaughters. We all got our little roles, we all do this, we all do that.
And it seems like a really happy environment, and certainly the dogs are responding to that.
Oh yeah, we've done it now for quite a few years now, and everyone comes out, they do their bit, you know. I always come out, do any lame dogs, feed the puppies. Craig and Chloe get on with cleaning out in the kennels. If Chloe's not in, then Sophie's in, and Sophie goes out and does the cleaning out. Ronan does all the running about with sawdust and all things that we need, and bedding and everything else. Yeah, we all have our own little bits.
Erica's niece Chloe currently owns the best dog in the kennel, Jake's Magic, who she bought when he was just 4 months old.
Yeah, very, very lucky. All my other dogs haven't been as good as what he has, and I'd never thought in a million years at 22 that I would have a dog that could potentially be in the Derby.
It hasn't been straightforward necessarily, because at first, obviously, you reared him from 4 months and he didn't chase, did he? Which must have been a bit of a worry.
Yeah, well, I kind of expected that. I mean, it's my dog. They're not always straightforward. There's got to be some quirk to them.
And so then you made the decision to send him to Nick Savva for some schooling.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to give up on him too soon because, you know, he'd only had one try, and so we thought we'd send him to someone who's got the time and is dedicated to schooling puppies, and now we have this great result.
As with all your dogs, you really love him. There's a special connection between the two of you, isn't there?
Yeah, he's my baby, really, and 1 in a million.
Obviously, everyone wants an entry in the Derby, and you have got big plans for him. You are thinking about Nottingham, all being well.
I think track and trip is perfect for him. He wants a nice big galloping track. We tried him at Romford. He won over the 400. But the 575, he just didn't seem to suit his style of running, whereas he's gone to Hove and a nice big track, and he's run really well. Nottingham obviously would be ideally. Trap draws are always the trouble when you go there, but hopefully if he stays sound, I'm sure as he's Chloe, she'll want to enter him in there and see how he gets on, I suppose.
And the brother, of course, is Buddha Sam, who is a sort of Yarmouth A1 dog. He's really changed his style of running recently.
Yeah, he took a long while to get going. He was a fair way behind the other one when we trialled him in. He just didn't seem to have the trap work right. He was dropping out one week and coming out another week. But he was staying on really well, whereas the last couple of months or so, he's completely changed. He's now flying out of the boxes, and he's got up to A1, so I suppose there's dogs in there that stay a lot better than he does, and he's just sort of struggling the last sort of 40 or 50 to sort of get home now.
So what will the plans be for him?
I think looking at his style of running, probably got Romford. We've got a few that I think would suit Romford. Going to take them there for a trial and whatnot and just see how they get on. I think he'll definitely like the 400 there. He runs the bend well when he comes away, and that's half the parcel of going there, is getting out and getting around the bend, isn't it?
Well, another dog with nice earlier that you're thinking about taking to Romford is Blunderbuss. Do you think that the track might suit him too?
Yeah, he's a big old dog, so that will be a question when he has his trial of how he handles the track. But he's a March 18. He's got some really good early pace, and I mean he does down the back straight at Yarmouth. He does really stretch him out. He probably struggles a little bit like the other one, the last sort of 40 or 50. But he's been off a long while. He had a metacarpal fracture on the back, and he's come back better than we thought he would, really. So the time off has done him really well.
Yeah, he's very much in form. As you say, he's a big dog, 35, 36 kilos. We've seen him here today. So I guess the question mark will be, does he get Romford?
Yeah, that is always the thing. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes around there. I know the owner's looking forward to him going there, but if he can hit the lids, which he doesn't all the time, and he's still doing sort of 5:30 sectionals at Yarmouth, and he doesn't actually fly out the boxes, but he's just got serious pace to the bend.
A couple of bitches we've seen here today. Tell us about Black Mystery.
Yeah, we bought her before Christmas and took her to Romford. She won round there in a maiden over 400. We bought her more really for the 575. And we brought her back to Yarmouth sort of December time in the view of running her in the Yarmouth Championship. And the first round she was well clear and went lame on her back muscle, so she's been off since then. She's had a good few gallops here and she looks like she's coming on all right. So hopefully within the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks she'll be back on the track and be interesting to see what we can get out of her, really.
And also, I'm hunky dory, we've seen.
Yeah, she's a new one that's just come over, and the owner, that's always his phrase. You say, "Morning, how are you?" And he always says, "I'm hunky dory." So we said, well, you've got to call the dog after that, and that's how it come about. She had her first trial and did 5:49, 28:76. So that's a good first look round Yarmouth. So it'll be interesting to see how she comes on. Once she gets graded in, I think she could well come through the grades and be one to watch, I think.
A few other exciting things going on here. We've seen Scotch Mist today, who unfortunately broke his hook just before Christmas. But you've got plans with him for breeding here.
Hopefully, yeah. We got 2 or 3 nice bitches, and he was a strong dog. And 9 times out of 10, that's a lot better than having the actual form. So I think he's definitely a lovely dog, a strong running dog. So we're going to try him with a couple of the bitches, and fingers crossed he'll throw something that looks nice. As long as they're all graders for us, because Yarmouth's just locally, that's the main bread and butter, is running the graded racing. But you like to have a few in that you can sort of go here, there and everywhere with, and just have a change of scenery and a bit of a different look at things, really.
You used to breed a lot here, so you're kind of going to go down that road again.
Yeah, well, as we were talking earlier, the dogs are getting more and more expensive coming over, and you never know what you're buying. And we've got, as I say, 3 nice genuine bitches here that are all good bitches. They've got some good brood lines, so we thought we might as well have a crack at it and see what we can get out of it, really.
Tell us about the pups as well. 3 months old, gorgeous brindle dogs.
Yeah, they're out of the same bitch that Jake's Magic and Buddha Sam are out of, and the man who they came off, Johnny Scott, he keeps in contact with Chloe quite a lot, and we sort of said, oh, well, if you breed her again, we'll be interested in having some of the next litter, sort of thing. So he had 4 left and messaged her and said, oh, you interested? And we said, well, yeah, we'll have them all then. And looking how they've turned out for what they cost, hopefully these ones will be just as good and we can have some fun with them, really.
Of course, many people will remember your kennel. I think Do It for Twiggy really put you guys on the map. Is the dream to try and get one as good as that again, be it buy it or ideally breed it?
You'd love to have another one like that. He was special in what he was. He was a definite Yarmouth dog. He was a different dog in that calibre. But Jake's Magic, you never know. He's only just gone 2. He could well come forward and he might be the next one. You never know.